Hopefully you're not getting too bored of learning about these modes. There's just 3 more to go until we can say we are master of the modes. So in this lesson we're going to have a look at the Mixolydian mode. Mixolydian. And the Mixolydian mode, you might have guessed the pattern that's emerging is, in its most basic form, the white note scale that exists between G and G. So let's just have a quick listen to the Mixolydian mode. So as you just saw, a really basic Mixolydian mode starts on a G and goes up through the white notes until it gets to another G, an octave above. Just like this. And just like all the other modes, it's a really good idea to have an idea as to how this particular mode is related to major and minor scales and things that perhaps we hear more often. And to me, this is very, very similar to a G major scale. So this is going to be Mixolydian scale, and this is going to be major scale. And let's just compare the notes. So I'll just play a major scale. I'll play a G major scale. Have a listen to that. And I'll play the Mixolydian mode once again, and just see if you can see where the differences lie between the two scales. As it got started, the G major scale really mirrors the Mixolydian mode right the way up through the first 6 notes. These first 6 notes were exactly the same between the Mixolydian mode and the major scale. But something interesting happens here. So in the G major scale, we have an F sharp. And that really is the key difference between the major scale and the Mixolydian mode, is that the 7th degree of the Mixolydian mode is just 1 semitone flatter than it would be in the major scale. And so we sort of talk about the Mixolydian. One of the key feature, if you like, of the Mixolydian scale is that it has this flattened 7th sound, and a lot of composers like that. They like the slightly more interesting and mysterious sound in the top of the scale. Have a listen to. They just like that sound as opposed to the major scale, which is kind of just normal. That's kind of what we would expect in lots of music, and the ability to introduce this F natural, the flattened 7th, has been used by composers to make something a little bit more interesting or a little bit different, create a different effect. I always like to finish these videos with an example of a piece of music that I'm sure you'll know that makes use of this new mode, and I've got one for you for the Mixolydian mode, and that is Hey Jude by the Beatles. I'm sure you know Hey Jude, and if you don't, just get onto YouTube. I'm sure there's many, many versions of it, and cover versions and versions played by orchestras and all kinds of stuff. And there's the best bit for me is the end of Hey Jude, where Paul McCartney gets everyone to sing together, na 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 na, that bit, right? So that bit is the part of the song which makes use of the Mixolydian mode. And I'm just going to play it for you on the piano, and you'll notice that even though the melody starts on G, it does feel like very much being in the key of G, but we're not including F sharps. We tend to include F naturals, and that's what gives the music its particular kind of bluesy character, perhaps, is the fact that he's not using an F sharp, he uses an F natural in the melody. So have a listen to this. And that's it. That's a basic introduction to the Mixolydian mode.